Good morning. There is a lot going on out there right now. Unfortunately, here in the United States, we're in the middle of an Omicron surge. And I wanted to get some quick information out there for everyone on some of the new treatments that are available for COVID-19. I will say that despite the pain of the pandemic, one of the things that's been most exciting for me is to see the surge of new treatments and new technologies that I think will help us not only during the pandemic, but I think in addition beyond the pandemic. So one more thing before I get into it, just to remind all of you, while I am a healthcare provider, I am not your healthcare provider. So everything in this video is not medical advice. It's simply information. And if you are diagnosed with COVID-19 or have any questions about prevention for COVID-19 or treatment for COVID-19, you really need to talk to your specific doctor. So having said that, let's get to it. The FDA has just given emergency use authorization to 2 new pills to treat COVID-19. Both are intended to prevent progression to hospitalization or death, so progression to severe disease. They're both meant to be administered within 5 days of symptom onset in an individual that's been diagnosed with COVID-19. And they're both, as I mentioned, pills that you take for 5 days. One of them is made by Pfizer, and it's called Paxlovid. The other one is made by Merck, and the generic name is Molnupiravir. So these are both really exciting to have some new treatment options available. What I will say is that we're still really early, and while there are doses available that are being distributed to the states and subsequently the health systems, it's going to take a little while before we have enough treatments available for everyone who may want them or need them. So if this is something that you think maybe is right for you, you definitely need to talk to your doctor to find about availability. I suspect that in the early days, the health systems will allocate doses to individuals at highest risk. So these would be, again, older individuals, immunocompromised individuals, those with chronic health conditions that put them at high risk for progression to severe disease. Now, the second treatment option that we have available and have had available for a while are monoclonal antibodies. These are, as opposed to the pills I was just talking about, these are actually infusions. So the administration is a bit more complicated, but on the upside, at least right now, we have, I think, probably more ready availability. I think ultimately, however, that's going to flip as production for the pills ramp up. But currently, I think most health systems are allocating use of these antibody treatments for, again, individuals that are at high risk for progression to severe disease. Unlike the pills, however, these can be administered up to 10 days after diagnosis and symptom onset. So that does make it a bit different. If you, again, are in one of these high-risk groups and you've been diagnosed with COVID-19, the first thing you should do is call your doctor or your health system to find out what treatments are currently available in your area and whether you meet the criteria that potentially would have access. My hope is that as things progress, and again, particularly with the pills, as production wraps up, that we would be able to have access for both of these to more individuals. Now, the final thing that I wanted to mention is that there is yet another product that has just been released. This is different, though. Everything I've been talking about so far, so the 2 pills and the antibody treatments, of which, by the way, there are actually several brands, just like the vaccine, so you'd probably get whatever your health system has available, is a preventive medication. It's not a vaccine, though. It's called Evusheld. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's spelled Evusheld. If you have questions about how any of these products are spelled, I will have more information below in the comments. But this is an injection, and it's meant to help prevent risk of being infected with COVID-19 among high-risk individuals who either for some reason cannot be vaccinated or are not mounting adequate antibody responses because of, for instance, an immunocompromising condition. So I take care of a lot of patients with lung transplants, for instance. And many of these patients have checked antibody levels, and despite getting all their vaccinations and boosters, they still are not mounting good antibody responses. These would be excellent candidates for this new product, which after the injection does provide treatment, does provide some protection against infection for up to 6 months. As with the other products, this is new, and I suspect availability will be pretty limited, at least in the outset. So I think most health systems, as is, for instance, the University of Michigan, will be using some type of allocation system to make sure it is just the absolutely highest risk individuals that are getting things first. So, just to wrap up here, vaccination, masks, social distancing are still your best bet. I know that it's been a long 2 years. I know we're all tired, and we've seen community prevalence go up and down and up and down. But right now, unfortunately, things are really bad. Now is not the time to be lightening up on your safety precaution measures. I do think that there is light, though, at the end of the tunnel, and my sincere hope is that some of these new treatments will be part of that solution. And I am very excited about them. But honestly, the best thing you can still do is to prevent yourself from getting infected in the first place by doing all the things that we know work, including vaccinations, masks, social distancing, etc. But again, I am very excited about the release of these new medications. And if you have any questions about availability and whether they might be right for you, again, talk to your doctor.